So the first step is you don't want to cut these wires because you're going to use the old connector as a reference. Cutting these wires prematurely will cause you problems because you may not know which pin they go into on a connector. So you want to do it once at a time. Okay, that's important. So I'm going to start with the ground wire, and I'm going to cut it as I have, and I'm going to connect the wire for the connector that I just showed you. I'm going to connect that with the connector and plug it into the new plastic connector. Okay, and I'm going to do that one at a time. The connectors you'll be using will be 22 to 18 gauge. Now the wires are much longer than you'll actually need, so I cut it in half, just about in half, should be plenty, and made my splice about that long. Then I'll take the this half and connect it into the connector, crimp it rather into the connector, and crimp the other side into the wire that I've already cut loose from the existing wire connector. Now you can see where I've attached the wires together with the connector, and now I'm going to plug the end of the wire into the same pin that it currently exists on the old connector. So I'm going to plug it into the same pin on the new connector as it which will be the one on the far left on the new connector. So I've attached the wire to the new connector. It's foolproof because it fits into the slot. It can only fit into the slot one way. Don't force it if you're having a problem, but it should be very easy to slip it in and you'll hear it click. Alright, so now I'm going to continue this process on the 5 remaining wires, one at a time. Now that I've attached the ground wire to the new connector, I'm going to go ahead and cut the remaining wires and use the old connector as my guide. So I'm going to follow the same wire pattern. Brown is to the far left, and one at a time I'm going to go ahead and connect these wires to the new connector. Okay, so now I've completed the connections, as you can see, to the new connector, and it wouldn't be a bad idea at this point to use a few wire straps and tie them together, or you could use electrical tape as well. So I'm going to use wire straps. So you can see where I've attached the wire or cable tie, they're called, and all I really needed was one. I think that's sufficient. So I'll connect this to the new bulb carrier, and that should do the trick. Use the old bulb carrier as a guide when replacing the bulbs. Once you test the lights, you will see that they're all lit and that the blinker and the backup light are not working because they aren't in operation at the moment.